Bringing you the news from here at home and across the world, this is Primetime News live on Newsfirst. A very good evening. I'm Mahina Bongzo.
Good evening and welcome. I am Shaheen Jurangpati. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines.
Chinese president vows to win the battle against the coronavirus. 4 aircraft carrying Sri Lankans in China to arrive in the country tonight. Maximum retail price imposed on face masks. The forensic audit report.
මේ සඳහා ඉන්දියානු සමාගමක් තමයි මේ පරීක්ෂණය සඳහා පහුගිය ආණ්ඩුව මහ බැංකුව විසින් මේ පරීක්ෂණයට ලක් කළා තියෙනවා.
මම කල්පනා කරන්නේ මේ වංචනිකයන් සහ වංචනිකයන් ආරක්ෂා කරන්නන්ගේ තර්ක.
Parliamentarian Ranjinramanayake Further remanded.
Speaking about the novel coronavirus, Chinese President Xi Jinping said that he would extend his fullest support to the international community in ensuring the well-being of the world's citizens. The World Health Organization too has joined hands with China in combating the novel coronavirus.
In the future, he added that although the drug or treatment aimed at curing the virus has not been formulated, scientists and medical professors are currently in the process of exploring methods to formulate a cure. Speaking further, Zhong Nanshan said he believes that improved life support systems which are used at present would further aid in reducing the number of deaths which occur. According to reports, the number of deaths which occurred as a result of the coronavirus stood at 136, while over 6,000 confirmed cases have been reported. The virus has been identified in 17 countries, including China, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Canada, America, England, Malaysia, Australia, Nepal, France, Vietnam, Singapore, Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, Korea, Japan and Thailand. Today, it was also reported for the first time that 4 people infected by the coronavirus was discovered from the Middle Eastern country of United Arab Emirates.
Meanwhile, 4 more flights carrying Sri Lankans from China are expected to arrive in the island tonight. According to the Sri Lankan embassy in China, 380 students who are pursuing higher studies in China have been sent back to the island. Acting Sri Lankan ambassador to China, K. Yoganathan, said that 484 more students are expected to arrive in the island. The acting ambassador further noted that discussions are underway with the Chinese government to evacuate Sri Lankan students residing in the Chinese city of Wuhan, which is in lockdown. K. Yoganathan, acting Sri Lankan ambassador to China, speaking to Newsfirst, said a total of 501 Sri Lankans residing in China are expected to arrive in the country by tomorrow. He added that steps are being taken to transport 355 other Sri Lankans to the country in due course. Flights carrying Japanese and US citizens from Wuhan have already left for their respective countries, and the European Union said China would assist to evacuate all European nationals from the city upon a request made by France. Pakistan announced today that 4 Pakistan students residing in the city have contracted the virus. Meanwhile, a program has been initiated to conduct tests on Chinese nationals working for large-scale projects in Sri Lanka. This is the manner in which Chinese nationals working in the Hambantota district were being tested. Meanwhile, health officials said that the condition of the Chinese lady who contracted the coronavirus is in a positive state.
Right now, I'm in front of the National Institute of Infectious Diseases, where the only patient infected with the new coronavirus is currently receiving treatment. Now, on a similar note, medical reports of 8 patients who have showed the symptoms of the coronavirus is yet to be received. Now, the authorities would like to inform the public not to create unnecessary panic, as this outbreak is being dealt with maximum effort.
The director of the Medical Research Institute in Borella, Jairuan Bandara, noted that the institute has received 2 samples to run tests in order to determine whether the virus has been contracted. According to health officials, procedures to detect the virus at the Bandaranaike International Airport has been widened. In line with this move, a new machine which utilizes nanotechnology to prevent the virus spreading through air has also been installed at the BIA. This machine was built by Manju Gunawardena 7 years ago, and he holds the patent for this invention. This equipment has the ability to sterilize the air, thus it has been placed at 22 places that have a high risk at the airport.
SARS හෝ MERS corona virusය
This is not a virus that has major complications like the SARS virus or the MERS virus. Regardless of the magnitude of the steps we take to prevent this, there is a risk of it spreading in the country. We are yet to experience that risk. Therefore, the measures we should take now and the measures that should be taken once the virus starts spreading in the country are different. So why should you wear face masks now? If we experience the same situation as China, then we can wear face masks. Now, people are spending unnecessarily on these masks at an unnecessary time. For how long are they going to wear these? There was an incident where a Chinese national collapsed on the road and everyone assumed that it was because of the coronavirus. That was a lie. This is a virus that affects the respiratory system. Many people get fever and then it subsides, but some face complications. Some of them can even die of pneumonia. Healthy people wearing face masks is completely unnecessary at this point.
යන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා. නිරෝගී ජනතාව මුඛාවරණ පැළඳීම සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම අනවශ්‍යයි.
The public has been instructed to buy face masks. Certain traders have reportedly urged children to wear face masks with the ulterior motive of gaining personal advantage in this precarious situation. This is a bad situation. If there was a necessity, the Health Ministry and the Education Ministry will issue directives in that regard. So far, no instructions have been issued to that effect. We haven't taken a final decision with regard to closing schools and suspending sport activities. This is because we did not close down schools, even if a child died of dengue during the period in which dengue was spreading. Right now, we are implementing a national program to get rid of this disease. What we wish to emphasize to the public and to the parents is that we will immediately disseminate information through the media if there is a sudden epidemic in the country. Therefore, we wish to stress that there is no need to fear misinformation being circulated through gossip and social media.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa called on the government to provide the general public face masks free of charge without allowing the prices to be manipulated by the black market. Sajith Premadasa said just as the medicine mafia operated in Sri Lanka years ago, a face mask mafia is making its rise due to the growing demand of face masks. He said it is disappointing to note certain people are taking undue advantage at a time of a national crisis.
The medical process currently in place at the airport to detect coronavirus afflicted passengers must be more efficient. Based on the reviews of passengers who experience this process, it is evident that the process currently in place is not sufficient. We have also learned that the personal protective equipment provided to all medical staff is not sufficient. The government must look into these matters and address them immediately.
දැනට අපිට වාර්තා වී තිබෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා ඒ පිළිබඳව ආණ්ඩුව සැලකිල්ලක් ලැබ යුතුයි.
Well, this evening, the Ministry of Health imposed a maximum retail price for face masks in Sri Lanka after growing concern of vendors selling face masks at exorbitant prices. A disposable face mask and a surgical face mask will now be priced at 15 rupees, while the N95 type face mask will be priced at 150 rupees. The Health Ministry said it would take strict legal action against any vendor selling face masks above the maximum retail price, as well as those who conceal stocks. Meanwhile, the government has also requested all groups protesting over their demands to have faith in the government's work plan and to render their assistance in its implementation.
The President's Media Division says that details pertaining to degree holders, those with similar qualifications, have been accumulated in order to provide them with jobs as promised by the government. Issuing a statement, the BMD notes that 53,000 degree holders will receive jobs in state institutions and state-run departments and also in semi-governmental bodies from the 1st of March. The statement noted that the government would hold talks with the relevant authorities to provide permanent employment to these individuals after completing 180 days in service.
Former chairman of the Committee on Public Enterprises, Sunil Handunethi, last week requested not to undermine the forensic audit reports of the bond scam. He made these remarks upon considering matters raised by the government with regard to the institutions which had carried out the audit. However, this matter has surfaced as a point of discussion among political parties.
එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂ පාලන කාලේ තමයි මේක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ සඳහා ඉන්දියානු සමාගමක්
These forensic audit reports have been prepared by an Indian firm under the previous government based on bond issuances of the central bank between January 1st, 2002 until February 28, 2015. We have a report based on the bond scam. These reports are based on bond issuances of the central bank. There is no need to confuse both these reports. The recent report does not highlight the occurrence of a scam. It merely notes that the government had faced losses due to certain decisions made by the central bank. The then central bank governor Ajit Niwad Cabral was overseas recently. He returned to the country last night. He will convene a press briefing and issue a clarification in this regard. Therefore, the real scam occurred under the government headed by Ranil Wickramasinghe.
මේ පිළිබඳ පූර්ණ පැහැදිලි කිරීමක් කරයි. ඒ නිසා බැදුම් කර නියම වංචාව උනේ රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයාගේ ආණ්ඩුව කාලේ.
How can Ajit Niwad Cabral's sister occupy a position on the director board at Perpetual Treasuries Limited? How can 4 others in that family be employed at institutions which issues loans to the government and issues bonds? The amounts defrauded by these individuals add up to 10,470 million rupees. Under our government, the bond scam took place as a daylight robbery. Since this information came to light, those who stated that a scam had taken place are now stating that there is just a loss and not a scam. The government had faced losses up to 10,470 million as a result of robberies between 2005 and 2015. We request the government to punish the perpetrators of these crimes irrespective of their party or any other differences. As the opposition, we will support such moves.
සියලුම මහ බැංකු ඒ වංචාවට සම්බන්ධ සියලු දෙනාටම පක්ෂ ભેදතව තරාතිරම නවල දඩුවම් කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒකට අපි විපක්ෂයක් වශයෙන් සහයෝගය දෙනවා.
අවසානයේ හොරු කියනවා අපි නෑ අපි.
The thieves are denying committing any wrongdoing. It seems that no one has committed a theft. What happened to the money is also not known. In a few days, Arjuna Mahendran too would shrink responsibility in this regard. What Arjuna Mahendran did was identified as a scam. We continue to uphold our stance that the former Prime Minister and UNP leader was also associated with this. With regard to the transparency of the report, the question rises as to who prepared them. Under which standards did they compile this report? We feel that this should be done in a proper manner, no matter which panel of experts conducted it. Thieves cannot be harbored if it is done in a proper manner.
විය හැකියි කියලා ඒකෙදි කිසිම හොරෙක්ව ආරක්ෂා කරන්නේ නැහැ.
The looting of the central bank began in 2004. According to the forensic audit report, the losses incurred between 2004 and 2015 is over 10,000 million rupees. The high-profile scam has resulted in losses amounting to 600 million rupees. No one has been arrested so far by the present government. Our stance was that those involved in looting and misappropriating public funds should be penalized irrespective of their parties. However, there seems to be no sign of that.
සොරා ගැනීම ඒව අයුතු ලෙස මේ ලබා ගැනීම දඬුවම් දෙන්න ඕන කවර පක්ෂයක වුණත්. ඉතින් ඒව නම් කරන පාටක් පේන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක වෙනුවට වැල් බයිලා ටිකක් ගගහ ඉන්න කතන්දරයක් තමයි අපිට පේන්නේ.
Certain individuals are opposing the report as certain sections have been hidden. What are they? The losses caused by the first bond scam exceeded the losses of the scam involving the UNP. The profits earned by Perpetual Treasuries Limited, owned by Arjun Aloysius, is 25,000 million rupees. Therefore, what are those in the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna trying to do? This forensic audit was carried out by a team of foreigners. We know that it was not carried out by the Auditor General's Department in Sri Lanka. If efforts are being made to divert attention on this matter, we request the public to avoid losing focus in this regard. Be vigilant. Both sides jointly looted public funds. That is why Mahinda Rajapaksa has undertaken certain steps concerning Ranil Wickramasinghe. 8 vehicles have been provided for him to retain the party leadership. 200 for security. A house and an office in Parliament too have been given to him. Therefore, the Wickramasinghes will be protected while the Rajapaksas are in power. The Rajapaksas will be protected when the Wickramasinghes are in power.
I am amused with the arguments put forward by the perpetrators to justify their actions. They claim, as they were not questioned while the scam was taking place, it cannot be considered as a scam. What sort of a justification is this? This report has been prepared by an internationally accepted audit firm.
එසේ නැතුව මේ මහජනයා කබ්‍රාල්ගේ දොරකඩ ගාවට වෙලා කබ්‍රාල් මහ බැංකුවේ අධිපති ඉන්නකොට එයා නගින කාර් එක පස්සෙත් යනවා. එයා ගෙට යනකොට ගේ පස්සෙත් යනවා. එයා එළියට බහිනකොට දොර මුල්ලෙත් ඉන්නවා. ඉඳගෙන හොරකම් අල්ලන්න බෑ. මේ ඇවිල්ලා මේ එහා වැත්තට පැනලා නේද වට්ටක ගෝණියක් කඩන් යනවා එකක් නෙවෙයි. එතකොට ඒ දාම අහු වෙනවා. වැලේ ඊයේ වට්ටක තිබ්බ අද වට්ටක නැහැ කියලා.
These are white collar crimes. Therefore, such crimes can only be identified through audits.
විධිමත් විගණන වාර්තාවලදී පමණයි.
State Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage expressed the following views with regards to the government's future power generation plans during a media briefing today.
තිරුබල අමාත්‍යාංශයේ කිසිසේත් පනත වෙනස් කරලා බලාගාර ඉදිකිරීමේ කිසිදු සැලැස්මක් නැහැ. අපි අපේ
The Ministry of Power has no plan to amend the Act to construct power plants in the country. We will only follow our long-term power generation plan. Some are trying to make this country a coal power hub. We have not taken such a decision. We will prepare a power generation plan for 20 years that will be reviewed every 2 years. Accordingly, every 2 years, a new power plant will be constructed. During the period between 2014 and 2020, no power plant was constructed in Sri Lanka. Because the former government failed to construct power plants as per the long-term power generation plan, the government was compelled to suffer a loss of 604 billion rupees on behalf of the CEB. Former Minister of Power and former Secretary to the Ministry, Batagoda, are clearly responsible for this. If these power plants were constructed on a timely basis as per the long-term power generation plan, by now 800 megawatts of power could have been added to the national grid. The UNP halted the construction of all power plants due to be constructed under the long-term power generation plan. Former Minister Karunanayake and former Secretary Batagoda executed a plan to purchase power at a higher cost. Several ministers of the previous government had brought many personal projects to the CEB. Former Minister Champika Ranawaka, Malik Samaravikrama, Ravi Karunanayake and Sagara Ratnayaka are among them. In another 2 months, we could commence construction of power plants.
මේ අමාත්‍යාංශයට ගෙනෙල්ලා කටයුතු කරා ඇරෙන්න කිසිම කටයුත්තක් වෙලා නැහැ. අපිට තව මාස දෙකක් විතරක් යනකොට අපිට පුළුවන් වෙනවා කඩිනමින් නව බලාගාරවල වැඩ කටයුතු ආරම්භ කරන්න.
I request everyone to refrain from pointing fingers at others for their inabilities. Why don't you question Ranjit Siambalapitiya about this? He has served the ministry for 6 years. Ask anyone from the ministry about the change I initiated at the ministry during the 11 months I served as the minister. We minimized waste and worked towards streamlining processes in the right direction. As I am aware of this subject, I met with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa 4 weeks ago. I warned him that if the CEB continues in such a manner, Sri Lanka will face a power crisis in another 3 months. I also told him that we as a UNP will extend our fullest support in this regard. There are several issues in the administration of the CEB. This is the reason for all problems.
Attorney General Dappula De Oliveira met with Speaker Karu Jayasuriya last night. The duo met at the Speaker's official residence.
The Constitutional Council, headed by the Speaker, recently decided to summon the Attorney General over the arrest of High Court Judge Gihan Pilapitiya. This was after the Council had discussed that such a move could damage the trust placed by the people on the judiciary. The Parliament's Department of Communication, in a media release, said that the AG had agreed to order the arrest of such individuals in a manner in which it does not tarnish the image of their respective institutions. During the discussion, AG De Oliveira had apprised the Speaker of the decision he had taken in the recent past. Meanwhile, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing incidents of political persecution had informed the AG to suspend legal action being taken against former Navy Commander Admiral Vasantha Karanagoda and Rear Admiral K.P. Disanayake over a case pending before the Special High Court. The AG, in response, had stated that the Commission did not have the authority to instruct him on such matters. If the Attorney General is being ordered by various commissions or political authorities, this is going against the law, the tradition and the constitution of this country. Only a higher court can order to halt or suspend a particular action of the Attorney General. Any other institution does not have the authority to do so. We should not permit such actions either. Something like this has never taken place in the history of our country. If such actions are permitted, this would be considered as interfering with judicial proceedings. This is a very serious matter. There are higher officials to instruct the judiciary. If there is any case, relief must be obtained by presenting facts to the court. If one is not satisfied with the court's verdict, they can submit their appeal at a Supreme Court or Court of Appeal. When a case is considered by court, only a higher court can take any action.
The Criminal Investigation Department has obtained a statement from former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe regarding the April 21st attacks. Issuing a statement, police media spokesperson SP Jaliya Senaratne said CID officials recorded a statement from Ranil Wickremesinghe last Saturday. On to more local news, MP Ravi Karunanayake called on the chief prelates of the Askiri and Malwata chapters earlier today.
MP Karunanayake, who arrived at the Malwatu Mahaviharaya earlier this morning, first visited the chief prelate of the Malwatu chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Thero. Most Venerable Thero, I came to speak to you about an issue that arose about 1.5 years ago about the issuance of bonds. I resigned following that episode to show that I had no relation to that matter. They presented the forensic audit on the bond issuance in Parliament last week, and that proves my innocence. MP Karnanayake then proceeded to the Malwatu Mahaviharaya, where he called on the Anunayaka of the Malwatu chapter, the Most Venerable Dimbul Kumbure Vimaladharma Thero. That bad name came on you. That was spread across the country. If it was corrected, then we appreciate that. This is a serious mistake, so we are very happy to hear this. The Annayaka Thero also expressed his views on the United National Party. Ranil Wickramasinghe has been there for 20 odd years and he doesn't seem like he will resign. This person was said to be appointed, but that seems unlikely to happen. What will happen is that the party will split as a result, like the SLFP. These two will also split, and it will come to a point where there will be no opposition in the country. After paying homage to the sacred tooth relic, MP Karnanayake then proceeded to the Asgiri Mahaviharaya. Actually, the average person doesn't understand this thing about treasury bonds. What people want is growth for the sake of the country. What is necessary is the upliftment of the lives of the people. Our opinion is that if there are certain assumptions and allegations about you, that those matters need to be tried before conclusions are drawn.
Spokesperson of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Veerakumara Dissanayake, addressing a media briefing today, spoke on efforts by certain factions within the government to criticize the SLFP. He made these remarks at the party headquarters in Colombo.
The SLFP does not need to fall into a conflict. The people are aware of the capabilities of the SLFP. If we think that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa can fix this country, and we stand together with him, if certain factions think they can attack us within that, they don't have any knowledge on Sri Lankan politics. It is the responsibility of the people to identify such persons and drop them down to zero. So we ask that they not try their luck with the SLFP. The SLFP did not take political decisions after asking anyone. The SLFP made their political decisions together with the President, the Prime Minister and senior level organisers. We will not be part of the games of these small district level organisers. If we focused on preferential votes, we would not be able to do this kind of politics.
මනාප බලපුරවලට වැටිච්ච දේශපාලනයක් කතා කරා නම් මේ දේශපාලනය අපිට කරන්න බෑ. දැන් මේ විදිය කණ්ඩු වෙලා අවසාන වෙලා සම්පූර්ණ බල්ලෝ බිරුවා කියලා කඳු පාත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඉතින් ඔය බල්ලෙක් දෙන්නෙක් ඉඳලා බුරුවට ඒක එච්චර ගණන් ගන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ ඉතින්. බල්ලෝ බුරනවා තමයි. නම් ගම් මනක් කල්පිතයි. අපි අගමැති ධූරය ගැන කතා කරන අගමැති මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ වීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපිට කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ.
Sri Lanka Freedom Party General Secretary Dayasiri Jayasekara, during a tour in Ratnapura today, responded to questions raised by journalists on the actions which will be taken concerning former President Chandrika Bandaranayake Kumaratunga. No, there is no problem regarding that. We will join hands with her when required. She is someone who has been a strength to the SLFP. We do not hope to expel her from the party. She acted against a decision taken by the party's Central Committee. Therefore, we removed her from the post of party organizer. However, she can continue to work with the party. We need to work after arriving at a common consensus by taking a decision with the party's Central Committee. Everyone must unite. We do not intend to expel anyone from the party. The number of those who have left the party are now more than enough. Parliamentarian Dilan Pereira commented on the disciplinary action taken against him by the party in Badulla.
Sri Lanka ke indala eliyata basse ඕන පරීක්ෂණයකට මුහුණ දෙන්න බලාගෙන
I left the Sri Lanka Freedom Party by being prepared to face any disciplinary inquiry. The SLFP did exactly what we did. The only difference is that we supported Gotabaya Rajapaksa 3 weeks before the SLFP followed course. Therefore, I cannot understand the mistake that we have committed. The only mistake we did is we initiated it. Therefore, we can face those disciplinary inquiries. We stood for Gotabaya Rajapaksa's election victory by leaving all our positions aside. Those in the SLFP who said they would take action have now assumed ministerial portfolios in Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government. So that is the situation. May those who take action against us be blessed.
මට මේ වෙලාවේ කියන්න තියෙන අපිට විනය පරීක්ෂා තියෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ අයට ගොඩක් පිං කියලා.
Yet another initiative completed through Gammadda was vested with the people today. A drinking water project which was constructed for the students of the Sudarshana Mahavidyalaya in Adampane Talava in Anuradhapura by Gammadda was declared open earlier today.
Around 240 students currently pursue their education at this school. However, finding clean drinking water was a challenge for these students until today. Although a water purification machine was provided through the President's Fund, they were not able to provide water for the machine to purify. Our correspondent said, while this is an area with a high number of kidney patients, and since the main livelihood of most residents in the area is farming, they did not have the financial means to provide a sustainable solution to this issue. The Gammadda initiative, which identified this issue, therefore decided to provide the students at the Sudarshana Mahavidyalaya in Adampane with a drinking water project. Gammadda Savia provided labour contribution to this project, which commenced construction on the 28th of November last year. The drinking water project has been constructed after diverting pipes from a community water project which is situated 300 metres from the school premises. The drinking water project was vested with the children at the auspicious time this morning amidst the blessings of the Mahasangha. Water taps have been installed at 3 separate locations within the school premises. Drinking water was provided for the students of the Sudarshana Mahavidyalaya in Adampane after a lapse of many years, bringing smiles to the faces of the children.
Today is a very important day for us and our children. We are brimming with happiness today. We suffered for years without clean drinking water. All these days we drank murky water. Some days we do not have enough water. We thank you for doing this for us. Water is a human need. Even if we survive without food, we cannot survive without water. We are thankful for the Sirasa Media Network for providing us this drinking water project.
Taking a look at a story that's made the headlines tonight, Parliamentarian Ranjinramanayake was further remanded until the 12th of February earlier today.
The Colombo Crime Division arrested Ranjinramanayake on the 15th of this month over charges of engaging in telephone conversations with judges and influencing the judiciary. The parliamentarian who was remanded was produced to Nugegoda Magistrate UHK Palpola this morning.
බලන්නකො ගිහිල්ලා පාර්ලිමේන්තු එකේ නලිනි මිස් හැන්සාඩ් එකේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්.
When the case was called up today, State Counsel Janaka Bandara, appearing for the Attorney General, said further investigations into the matter are being carried out. Hence, the State Counsel said he objects the granting of bail for Ranjinramanayake until the investigations are concluded. The State Counsel pointed out that if Ranjinramanayake is granted bail, he would make various comments to the media. State Counsel requested court to further remand Ranjinramanayake until the court case is concluded, as there is a possibility of him influencing witnesses through various other people. President's Counsel Neville Abeyratne, appearing for Ranjinramanayake, said if his client is granted bail, he would not hinder the investigation process. The President's Counsel requested for the parliamentarian to be released on any sort of bail condition, since a travel ban has already been imposed against him. The additional magistrate, who then considered facts, rejected the request to grant bail and further remanded parliamentarian Ranjinramanayake until the 12th of February. The suspect is to be directed to the government analysts on the 7th of February in order to obtain voice samples.
බංකුහරු අල්ලන්න නැතුව මගේ හඬපට අහලා ඉන්නවා. අපි ඉතින් පුටින් වගේ රට දියුණු කරයි කියලා. ගෝඨාභය මහතා.
A forum held under the theme January is Still Black 2020, Together for the Safety of Journalists, was held last evening.
The event was held at the Sri Lanka Press Institute and was organized by the Free Media Movement.
අපි ජනවාරිය කළුයි කියලා කියන්නේ
Why we call January a dark month is because the government had revived certain moves to suppress social media platforms, control journalists and to suppress media outlets. The killing of Lasantha Wickramatunge, the disappearance of journalist Eknali Goda are some incidences of such repressive crimes. The list goes on. No government has taken steps to serve justice over these cases. We know that some political parties are engaging in dirty politics by using these incidences to their advantage. They forgot about these matters after coming into power. We saw how media institutions were burnt. The Sirasa and Siyata television stations along with the Sunday Leader and Udaya newspapers were torched. For more than 2 decades, any government has not been able to take action against the suspects and the culprits of these crimes.
The gathering also took part in a candlelit vigil at the Lipton roundabout.
The Mount Everest Fashion Runway has set a new Guinness World Record for the highest altitude fashion show.
The fashion show...
Well, that is a wrap of News First Primetime News tonight. Thank you very much for watching. I am Ranjinramanayake.
And I am Mahina Bongzo. Take care and good night.